Hi, good evening. My name is Alicia James, and I am the president and the visionary of the PAM Project. PAM stands for Preserve a Mom. The premise of the PAM Project is to promote mental health and wellness for mothers of color. Today is a very special day for me. It is the kickoff of my 5-day interviews of moms who are social entrepreneurs. And I want to take a minute to talk about what is a social entrepreneur, what is a social enterprise. The last couple of days I have was searching for mothers to interview, and I received over 200 entries for this opportunity for them to talk about themselves, talk about motherhood, what they're experiencing during the pandemic, but most importantly to talk about their visions, their mission work that they're doing to make an impact in the Black community, and also to publicly ask the public for support in some way. Maybe it's a campaign, maybe it's donations, but to give them more visibility and to help increase that level of support. So I just wanted to clarify one thing because so many people, Black mothers, did apply for this opportunity. And I will say that it takes a lot for a Black mother to, or any mother for that matter, to shift her mind mentally and say, I'm going to start a business, but then to go to the next level and say, not only is she going to start a business, she's going to start a business that's going to impact the lives of others, where the sole premise of that business is designed to help others. More importantly than just making a profit, is more about purpose work, right? And so for the next 5 days, I will be interviewing Black mothers who have been conscious of that decision in doing that. So I just want to read to you all the definition of social enterprise because so many people apply for this opportunity, and a lot of them were for-profit businesses. And they might have felt that they fit the mold of being a social entrepreneur, maybe because they volunteer, maybe because they sit on board of directors for nonprofits, or they've given donations or some capacity, or they have a for-profit business and they give back. All those things are really great, but the people that I will be interviewing today have been intentionally moving, showing up every day for their community, and the whole premise of their business is about service. It's about helping others. And so that is the difference between a for-profit business where your premise is to make a profit, as opposed to a social enterprise where you're connected to a social cause. So I'm going to read the description because I want to be clear that people fully understand the difference between the two. Okay, so the term reads as this: a social entrepreneur, their business is led by an economic, a social, cultural, or environmental mission. Okay, and it's consistent with the public's needs and to make benefit to the public. So that is the difference between a social enterprise and a regular business. Not saying that small businesses are regular, but that is the difference between the two. And I just wanted to clarify that for whoever's watching this now, live or on the replay, so that you fully understand what the mindset of these mothers and other women and other people who have been conscious and saying, I want to start a nonprofit. I want to be conscious of making a difference in the lives of people in my community, folks that look like me, or addressing whatever cause they choose to address. They are intentional about that. So that is the difference between the two. Now I'm getting ready to bring in my guest. And before I bring her in, I just want to say something amazing about people that are intentional about showing up. They tend to flock together. They tend to continually flow in the same circles. And Shawana is one of those people. I met her many years ago at a mental health conference, and she was full of energy and passion for the work that she was doing then. And we just kept bumping into one another. And then finally, a year ago, we started seeing more and more of each other. So I'm very excited about bringing her in and having this whole hour be about her, the work that she's doing in Manhattan to help change the lives of not just those in New York City, but on a national level. So give me a moment as I bring her into the studio. Hello, how are you? You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. So I don't know if you just heard my little intro, and I was saying how you and I have been running into each other for a few years, and I had to remember the first time we met. I think it was at NYU.
Yes,
At NYU, and the conference was about mental health and crime or something to that effect.
yes,
And we exchanged numbers. And I just, when I look at some of the other guests, some guests I've never met, but when I look at it, it's like, you know what? Birds of a feather flock together. Like, you have to be of a certain mindset, and we just keep flowing together. So it looks like you're doing what you always do. You're out in the community doing what
yeah,
you do best. But I want you to take a
yes.
minute and stop serving other people and let this whole interview be about you for a minute. Can
I
you give
love
me that?
you. Yes. And I just want to tell you how wonderful and what a pleasure it has been to make your acquaintance. And you floored me because I wanted to know what Pam meant. And when you
Okay.
told me what it meant, I got excited because as a single mother, as a formerly incarcerated single mother, what you do is so vital and so important and so impactful because nobody ever thinks that women are mentally beaten down. And even for me, you made me feel like it was okay to say, I don't have it all together as a mother, and it's okay to say, I need help.
Right. Yes. You know what? I think it was a book that I read that it was very funny. It was written by the comedian Sherry. I can't think of her last name right now, but her book is called Permission Slips. I think it was written back in 2008. And she picked fun of herself from beginning to end. She was just about to be added to the View talk show, and she was going through a divorce with her husband. She was Jehovah Witness, and she was just constantly saying all of these things that society tells us we have to be and we have to do. And throughout the whole book, she kept saying, "I'm giving myself permission. I ain't gotta wash the dishes. I'm giving myself permission. I don't have to do this." And it's like who do we have to report to? Because showing up to be a mother, showing up to be a Black woman, showing up, it's like society and people and a community, our family, they give us all these rules and regulations of how we're supposed to be, not be, and we never have a voice in the whole narrative of saying, I can't, it's too much. And so
Absolutely.
for me, it's just, the PAM project is about, encouraging mothers, including myself, that who says you have to have everything the way this way or that way? You can change your mind. You can do things that feel good to you, even if other people
Mm.
don't agree with you. It's your life, right? And a lot of times, us as mothers, we have to try to fit this mold of how to be so people can accept us and validate who we are. And we struggle with that. And so I always want to keep showing up and reminding those that look like me and you, and even those that don't, that you got to care more about yourself
Mm.
than the opinions of other people, right? And so I thank you
Mm.
for acknowledging that. Yes, that. But this week, I there's something special about social entrepreneurs. It's something special about people who, on top of being a parent, on top of being a mother, you say, I'm going to give of myself to help other people with no money, maybe no support. You know about that life. And
I'm
I'm going to
doing it
keep
right
showing.
now.
I know you are. And that's why you're my first guest for this week. Because it's something about, we talk about business, being a business owner, but something about your personal brand. When people think of you, they immediately think of the work that you do. Like they're interchangeable, right? And and that's a good thing because it validates who you are, your purpose in life. And when I talk to people who become clients of mine and say, how do you get funding? I have lipstick on my teeth. How do you get funding? People, funders, they follow your track record. Have you been doing the work? Do you have a history of it? Are you really committed to it? Or are you only chasing the grant because you think you can get it? Are you about that life? Pretty much, right? And
Yes.
so when I looked at some of the applications of people that wanted to be interviewed this week, and like I look at the social media pages, I look at that website, and like I don't see it. I don't see your commitment to the community. I don't see track records of the work, you know. But
Mm.
anyway, back to you because this is about you. I want you to first tell me how you have been doing because I see you show up for the community each and every day. But how are you doing during this time?
Whoo. We got COVID. We got health issues. We got Black Lives Matters. We have a lot going on right now. And you know what? I'm learning to meditate in this moment. Um, I'm learning things that I've never learned before to have a better life.
Mhm.
And it took COVID. It took all of this. It took catastrophic measures to say, hold on, wait. My friends are dying, people are dying, communities are suffering, and I want to be here for the long haul. What am I going to do?
Right.
So, um, so I'm learning to eat better. I'm learning to feel better. I'm just learning um, a lot of things in this moment. I'm learning, more importantly, about myself in this moment.
Yes. Right.
And um, I watch you on social media at the park, and I watch you in Central Park. Take time for you, and I get excited. And I said, well, that looks good. I want to try that. And I might not get to the
Yes.
park, but I'm finding ways to take a break and breathe. I'm finding that space, and it's a good space. And so I'm figuring it out that um,
Are you
time
still
definitely
working? Are you
still
still
working,
working?
still working. Listen, I on Wednesday I'm going to give away socks and slippers to kids,
I want you to
and on
stop right
Friday.
now. I want you to stop. Stop. I told you this is about you. You're going to have time towards the end of the interview to talk about what you need from the public to help you. But this is
Yes,
about you. Again, this
yes.
is about
And I'm
you.
and I'm and I'm learning from you for it to be about me. And that's why this is
Yes.
amazing. Because you know, it was funny. The last time I saw you, you were telling me about going to the spa and taking women. And again, I said to myself, like, this is so amazing. I wanna have time to do these things. And I haven't got to a spa yet, but I'm working on it. And I just think that what you give um, to humanity and the ways you tell us to relax um, are things I do take into consideration. They're things that do impart in my life. And I thank you for that because, like you said, you follow people, right? I follow you and I hear you. And some people don't have money for therapy. And some
Right.
people are therapy by other people.
Right.
And you are one of the people that I'm therapied by. And you don't even know it.
I appreciate that. I do. I really do. I really do. I think that we are always learning, and we are always growing. And I try to be as transparent as possible. And this pandemic has given me more appreciation for the park. Since I moved to the city from Long Island, Central Park and other parts of the city have been my go-to safe haven to kick
This is
off my
good.
shoes and just unplug, just to center
Mm-hmm.
myself. And so it's more like a survival strategy for me, going to the park, and just doing that and just disconnecting, because watching TV, being on social media more than I need to is not healthy. And we'll get into that. But again, I'm
Mm.
going back to you because this is your interview. And I
Yes.
know the type of person that you are. You're always giving, giving, giving. But this is you. And I'll just say again that I've been doing this for the last 4 years. Every year, normally, I use August to promote Black Philanthropy Month, but also to promote that it's Black Business Month, and to remind our folks to give back Black and support
Yes.
us. And
Yes.
and so I use this time to always each year to celebrate Black mom entrepreneurs. But this year, I felt it was even more important to promote social entrepreneurship, because I really wanted people to know who people are like you, who start grassroots organizations, and with no money at all, you show up. You show up every day with whatever is in your hands. You answer the
Absolutely.
call. And so, again, I keep going back to this is your interview.
Absolutely.
And
Because you know what? You have to show up.
yes,
You have to
but
show up.
that is the thing, is that some people don't, right? And so I want to speak to that for you. It's like, so when you started Silent Cry, what was it? What seed was planted to make you say and move and say, I have to do this? What was there, any particular
It was a lot
experience?
of things.
Okay.
It was a lot of things. For me, it was I've worked for agencies, I've worked for people, and it wasn't what I wanted. And I said, you know, everybody has a mission statement that says they're here to help, but I don't see the work being done with that looks like the mission statement. Prison says
Speak
it's
on
there
it.
to rehabilitate and reform, and it destroys and dissipates humans. Well, I think it's the same thing is happening out here in some programs. They say they're here to help, and we don't really see the help. I don't see the fruits of the mission statement. And I said, how do you fix it? And then, I said, well, everybody can't start an organization, or everybody doesn't need one. And I said, but I can't keep volunteering for them because it doesn't fit what my spirit is. And I said, I know my trauma and I know my silent cries. And I kept saying that to myself. And I said, that's it.
Mm.
That's it. Oh my God, my phone died. Is there a
No,
plug?
no, no, no. Oh no, Shawana. I pray that your phone is not dead. Just as you want to tell the public about the vision of how you launched your nonprofit. So this is her interview. This is what happens when you go live. But I hope that she gets the charge she needs so she can return and continue to talk about the vision of her nonprofit and the work that she's doing in Harlem, and the vision and goals that she has long term on a national level for the work that she's doing. Um, she touched on something that is very important. It's that a lot of people that start, I don't know, that start nonprofits, it's usually because there's a burning desire to see something that they haven't seen happening in their community, and they can't let it go. They can't let it rest. And that, again, is another difference between a for profit business. Excuse me, I have something on my teeth. A for profit business and a social enterprise. People that have taken the charge, grab the baton, and say, I'm going to address this issue. I don't see it happening. Maybe the nonprofits that are in my community, they're doing the work, but not to the capacity that they need to do it. And I want to jump in the arena. I want to show them what the work should look like. And so I'm very excited to have Shawana join me today, and I hope that she comes back um, because I want her to be able to share her campaign that she's currently pushing for this year and all the work that she's doing, especially in the Harlem community. But she's also looking to do things on the national level. I think I got her back.
Yes.
Yes. Oh
See the devil?
God.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah. Listen, because I was about to say, I said, I know all the things that you've been trying to do and champion to do, and I want this to be your moment to share
Yes.
that. And so you were just telling me the beginning of how you launched the vision of Silent Cry, how that came about. So continue, because I want people
So
to understand that.
so for me it was, oh my God, oh my Lord. Okay.
You better not get stuck again. Shawana. Oh, please, God, don't tell me I lost her again. This is so, so important that you understand the work that she's doing in the community in terms of prison reform. I didn't even want to tell what she's doing because I wanted everything to come from her and for you to fully understand the importance of her work at this current time. I don't know if her computer has frozen or if she's stuck again. Um, while we are waiting for her to come back, if you have a moment, you can check out her website. So it's Silent Cry Inc. And you can see her, learn more about her on her website as well as on her social media platforms. I believe she is on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I'm not sure about LinkedIn. But she is doing amazing work. And again, there was something that was just, I wanted to stress again about the level of commitment and the passion that social entrepreneurs have when it comes time to really stepping up to the plate and saying, I want to make a difference. And going to the next level and saying, not only are they pushing that agenda, that topic, that cause forward, they are rallying to get other people to support them, applying for grants, applying to change policies, getting um, elected officials to champion behind them and support them with the work that they're doing and the work that needs to happen in their communities. And so I hope that Shawana comes back because I really want her to be able to go into detail and explain to you what she is working on now. And I believe I have her back.
Yes, this is so fun, right?
Devil is a liar.
Yes.
So you better go ahead again before you get cut off again.
Oh my
And tell
God,
me.
it died on her again.
Press that thing in
So
there. Press it in there. Make sure it's in there. It shouldn't be dying like that.
no, tell me I lost you again. I'm going to go into the chat and see if there is anyone that has any questions. If you are watching this on the replay, I really would love to get your feedback in terms of um, your thoughts about starting a social enterprise or what needs to happen in your community if you're a Black mom and you're exploring the possibilities of starting a nonprofit or starting a social enterprise. And the difference between a nonprofit and a social enterprise is a social enterprise, you can make a profit with it, but it still needs to be connected to a social cause in some way, form, or fashion. You have to be being of service to the community and to the public. So that is the difference between two. So just curious, even on the replay, if there's anyone who's watching this has any thoughts about that. Um, One thing that has happened during this pandemic is it's given people the opportunity to explore other opportunities that maybe they had put on the back burner, because now we have, unfortunately, a lot of free time on our hands. And so if you happen to be um, one of those people, what are some of the causes that you would like to take a stand and maybe possibly start a social enterprise to launch? Um, just curious to know what issues are important to you. We know as of yesterday that another Black man was murdered by the police. And so, um, unfortunately for us, the Black community, we seem to always be marching, protesting against injustices and holding cops accountable, police accountable. I know that all police are not bad police, but this country as a whole has shown us that our lives don't matter enough, because police are murdering Black men, Black women, Black children, and most of them still are employed. Most of them have not been held accountable and seen their day in court. And so I know that is one issue that many people are taking a stand and wanting to do more than march and protest. They want to change policies. They want to be more involved with um, holding people accountable by having their own voices heard. And so, again, if you're watching this live or want to replay, I'm just curious to know if you're one of those people, and what do you know what you need to do to get started? Do you feel that you have enough support with the cause you want to launch as a nonprofit or a social enterprise? And where are you on your journey, right? And if anyone that is currently a nonprofit or a social enterprise business, in the comments, add your website. Just curious to see what other founders or executive directors I'm connected with on social media or that are followers of the PAM Project, and what kind of work you're doing. Um, as I've been promoting that August is Black Philanthropy Month, it is also Black Business Month. So I am curious to know um, who are the other Black business owners, Black mom entrepreneur business owners out there, and how are you showing up for yourself, for your families, and for the community? And I have my guest back. Are we okay now?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going on and on. But before we drop again, and God, I pray we don't,
Me too.
finish telling me, okay, someone's comment, finish telling me about the vision. You told me how you came to the idea of the name. So how did you get started? Because some people are inspired by the work that you're doing and want to know what it takes. And what are the first steps?
You know what? The first, I just started writing. I wrote what I wanted, and I didn't even know how I was gonna get there. I just started writing, and I wrote Silent Cry. I wrote what it looked like. I wrote what it meant to me. I wrote why. I wrote that my brother
Yes.
was murdered Christmas Eve, 1986. Um, I wrote my journey through prison. And I knew that those were the two things that were my focus, because I knew those were the two things that would drive me when there's no money. I would do those two things for free. And it died on her.
I was gonna say hold the
No, it's not that. It doesn't have enough power.
No, Shawana. Oh. Okay, while we're waiting for her to come back again, there was two things that she said that was so important that motivates social entrepreneurs or just any business owner is your why. What is it that is motivating you to keep going even when things look like it's not going to be successful? Is being reminded, why did I do this? What is the motivation for this? Because a lot of times, whether you're a for-profit business or a nonprofit business, you have to constantly remind yourself when things get to be a challenge, why am I doing this? Why did I start this business? Because there are going to be moments when you will be discouraged. There will be moments when you want to just pack up and close the door and say, this is it. I can't see how this can be successful. And those moments are when you do need to remind yourself of why you launched that business. What was the push that got you started, right? And the other thing she said, she was very specific about writing it down because it's very easy once you get into the thick of things to forget. And so you will have to journal your ideas and write things down to be your best, to hold yourself accountable, right? And be your best champion, be your best cheerleader, and encourage yourself on this entrepreneurial journey. Again, that goes for social enterprises, nonprofits, or for profit businesses. Entrepreneurs, you constantly have to encourage yourself, especially if you don't have the support that you need and you get discouraged and think family or friends are supposed to support you. You wish they did support you and they're just not showing up. The business is not for them. The business is for your target audience, who you are designed to show up for. Who are those people? And so, with that being said, you do need to constantly remind yourself this is not about me. This is bigger than me. I need to show up for this particular type of person. Whether you're targeting our youth and dealing with their education, dealing with employment opportunities for them, or you're advocating for the homeless and you need to make sure that their voices are heard, that they secure housing, that they have food, that they're respected, or you're advocating for cancer survivors or family members um, who have been incarcerated, or maybe you're advocating for for resources or research for a particular illness. Or like myself, I advocate for Black mothers and their mental health. So whatever it is, you need to constantly remind yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I showing up? And it's not about me, it's about the work. And until you start to see an impact that you're making, um, empowering others and making a difference in some way, every day you got to show up for that cause. Every day you got to show up for that work until there is a shift. And so, again, while I'm waiting for Shawana to come back, that is one of the reasons why I selected her and the other ladies that I will be interviewing for the rest of the week. It's because they show up every day for their community. They show up every day for the cause that they believe needs to have a voice. They keep showing up. They show consistency and addressing the causes that matter to them. That is the difference. Um, but that can apply to or for profit or nonprofit. That you're consistent because you believe in what you're doing. You believe in making your vision become a reality. And so, again, this week, I will be interviewing mothers that are doing that and that have that fire and commitment to the vision, to the work. So I see I have one person that has listed their for-profit business, I think that is, on the side. Um, just interested if there's any other people watching who have, whether it's a for-profit or nonprofit, because this is Black Business Month, but it's also Black Philanthropy Month. So just curious Feel free to add your business link so I can learn more about you while I'm waiting for my guests to come back. And also, I will visit your website once this is over and see what your organization is about in the work that you're doing in the community. While I'm waiting for Shawana to come back, I will speak again about the PAM Project. So, the PAM Project, as I mentioned early on the interview, the acronym stands for Preserve a Mom, and it's about changing mindsets in our community about what is mental health, what does wellness look like, and celebrating Black mothers in their journey to motherhood from pregnancy and beyond. And it goes beyond just postpartum, it goes beyond just moms with toddlers. It goes to as far as empty nesters. Because wherever you are in your journey of motherhood, you always need support. We should all, especially now during this pandemic, have our village, have people in our corner and our circles who will check up on us and make sure things are good with us and make sure that we're okay. And if we're not okay, they will assist us in getting the help that we need to be mentally and physically well. And I have my guests back.
Woo.
Are you good? Are you plugged in? Are
I'm
you
praying.
charged?
Listen, I'm praying. I need a new phone. We got to pray about this. But
Put that
yeah.
on the
So
list.
yes, put that on the list. So
So you were
I
saying
wrote.
you wrote it. You wrote about what you wanted.
I wrote about what I wanted. I wrote about everything, and then I started praying about it. And there was one of my neighbors in Brooklyn, and she says, "What do you want to do?" And I told her, and she took me by the hand and took me to Fordham Law School and to the law center, and they did my 501 paperwork. And for that, my debt of gratitude, because since 2012 I've been incorporated, and I know people that struggle to get a 501. You don't have the money, and this lady walked me into a school that didn't, and I have been able to live my dream, and I have been able to live my purpose and my passion all in one.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that there's nothing better in life than doing things don't that are not monetized. I don't do this for a check. I do this because it's right. I do it because where much is owed, much is required.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do this for every little girl who was born in prison. I do this for every little girl who's had a sibling that's murdered. I do this for everybody that's formerly incarcerated. Therefore, every day I'll get up and do my best because I do it for
Yes.
me. I do it in the name
Yes.
of redemption.
Yes.
And it died on.
Oh my God, girl.
Literally.
No, Joanna. No. I feel like, someone that they're watching this really good movie and then they tell you go to commercial. It was just at the good part. And then you have to go to commercial. I'm so excited to just hear things I did not know about Shawana's journey with her nonprofit. And it's something that's amazing is that when you have people in your life who take the time to seriously ask you, what do you want to do? And they do more than just listen. They encourage you. They take you by the hand and say, let me help you. And so it's so important that we have those people in our lives. Yes, we need her back. Yes, we need her back. I was just like sitting on my edge of my seat saying, I want to hear the rest of this. Um, as I said when I first started this interview, I've known her for some time, but I never fully knew her journey. And so this is good for me, as not just for those watching, for me to fully understand um, all the missing pieces of her journey and why she is so committed to showing up and doing the work. And so, for all of you who are watching, we're just going to pray. We're going to pray and pray and pray because I need her to come back and I need her to do a GoFundMe or something so she can get a new phone because we don't need any more breaks or interruptions with her doing the work that she needs to do. So I'm going to encourage her to do something so she can get a new phone or, oh goodness. So I'm going to convert back to the PAM project and say, currently this year I am doing a year-long campaign called Moms Redefining Healthy and Happy. And what that is all about is it's encouraging mothers to redefine what happiness and healthy is for you. You might have been raised to believe that happy is one thing, that you have to have a life that's packaged in a certain way, and it doesn't work for you. Guess what? You can change your mind. You don't have to hold on to that belief that you was poured into you and told that this is what perfect looks like. If it's not working for you, if it's a disservice to you to hold on to that belief, let it go. Change your mind. Create something else. Do what feels healthy to you. Do what makes you happy, right? And so we're in the month of August. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, but if you have a moment to journal your own ideas and list what's making you happy, what's making you unhappy, what's healthy to you, and what's not healthy to you. And whatever's on the list is not healthy and it makes you unhappy, remove those things from your life. Simple as that. As simple as that. We only get one life, and this is all we have, and we should enjoy it. And happiness it starts with you. No one else can make you happy. You have that choice to make your own self happy. And whatever is not working for you, let it go. So again, as I'm waiting for Shawana to come back, I want to encourage any of you that are watching this now or on the replay to share information about what you're working on and what you're doing. And also, if you're not a nonprofit, if you're not a social entrepreneur, but you know someone who is, tag their information into the comments. I would love to see who else is doing the work, who else is showing up every day for their community, who else is showing up every day for a particular cause, so we can celebrate and support them. We're on the last tail of Black Philanthropy Month and Black Business Month, but we need to more than ever show up and support one another. That is how we are able to thrive and survive today, especially during this pandemic. We have to be, we have to be intentional about supporting one another. It's crucial, especially in our community. And on top of that, mothers, they need their villages. And I just wanted to stress the importance that your village does not have to be family members. You can create your own village. And that starts when you start being transparent and letting people know what your needs are. One of the things that Shawana had mentioned before her call dropped was she was transparent in telling someone um, near her what her vision was, what she wanted, what was her passion, right? And you never know who is in your inner circle that may have the connections and the resources to be a blessing to you. But if you keep your idea and your vision to yourself, you'll never get the support that you need. So you're going to have to take a risk and trust and let people know, I have this idea. I want to do this. I want to do that. I know some people are reluctant to sharing because they feel that maybe someone will run with their idea and take it. But sometimes you just got to step out and on faith and just say, this vision is mine. This is my calling. And I'm going to communicate to as many people as possible that this is this is what I want to see happen, and trust that people will support you, will show up for you, may even have the resources that you need to take your vision to the next level. Just as Shawana mentioned to her friend that she had an idea of a nonprofit and she got exactly what she needed. So if you're watching this now or on the replay, think about that. Look at your notes, look at things that you've journaled, even if it's from as early as back as when we started to be sheltered in place. What did you write down that you would like to see happen for yourself this year, for next year? If there is a small business idea, um, I'm glad you found the PAM project as well. I look forward to visiting your business page or website when this is over. I hope Shawana will return and join us. Um, did you get anything out of what was discussed so far? For those who are watching, I'm communicating with someone that is commenting in the comment area on Facebook. We are live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. Um, so it's so important that we go after our dreams and we pursue the things that inspire us, that motivate us, that make us happy. I don't know, but I'm still on live, so I'm grateful that I'm not disconnected. So I'll just keep talking. So again, if you haven't started journaling your ideas, but think about that. What would you like to see happen for yourself? And invite maybe 3 or 4 people into the conversation. And you never know if they are able to provide you with the resources or encouragement. Sometimes encouragement is all you need. A good listening ear, someone that could be a voice board, right? So they can just help you pick apart your idea, give it more structure, and maybe interject a couple of solutions of how to make it work. I think Shawana is back. Yes.
About these.
I was saying, I don't know, you were hearing me before, but I'm like, she has to do a GoFundMe. We have to get her because we can't have your voice silenced. We
Yes.
can't have your voice silenced. So there is someone that is watching this who was saying, "Oh no, it was just getting good." So I said, "I know, me too."
I'm sorry.
So continue for the people that are going to watch this on the replay.
Yes.
So you
So
were saying, mm-hmm.
I was saying, I do this for humanity purposes. And when you do things for your own purposes with no just like I said, where much is owed, much is required. And that is why I give daily. And I think about, I was a product of the foster care system. I was a product of the prison system. Every system, there's a system to be a part of. I'm a product of a system and systematically set up to fail. And I want to show little brown girls and little black girls that you do not have to be what the world sets you up to be. I'm no longer W76337. I'm no longer the label that the foster care system gave me. I am not my bloodline. I am Shawana Vaughn, and I am standing on my own. And I don't have to be anything that the world set for me. And being formerly incarcerated, I no longer wanted to apply for jobs that I could not get. And in this moment, I don't want a seat at the table. I want to create the chair, create the pencil, carve out the seat, and sit down. And that is
Yes.
how we try. I have created my own seat at the table. And the seat doesn't mean funding. The seat means prosperity in community. And we're not understanding right now what prosperity means. Like I told you, I heard you say about funding. Everybody's fighting for funding. Who is fighting for lives?
Right. Right.
And the most vulnerable.
Yes.
And money will come. Do the work.
Yes. And that is it. I just want to say one thing, and I want you to talk about what you're championing, what your call to action is, because I don't before God, if you get cut off again, I want you to tell the public what your champion, what your platform you really want to see happen with policy this year. So I want to speak to that because, as I said before in earlier part of the interview, I used to work for a private foundation. And as a grants manager, the first thing I would do when people applied for funding is look at their track record.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Absolutely.
weren't doing the work before you applied, how can I really feel comfortable if I give you the money that you're going to be consistent with it, or you're only chasing the money? The commitment has to be first. And so, and for me, I'm grateful that the years that I worked for that private foundation, because as a consultant, that's advice I give clients. It's like, are you doing the work? Are you already doing the work? Are you already committed? Because what if you don't get the grant? Are you going to quit? Right? You have to be about doing the work. And so that is very important, especially now when people are, you know, nonprofit sector, it can be very funny when it comes to money and how people either want to collaborate to get the money or will throw you under the bus so you don't get the money so they get the money, you know, all of that business. But
Absolutely.
tell everyone right now, because I don't want you to miss this opportunity,
Yes.
what
So
you are working on in terms of what do you want to see happen.
I am championing legislation. In this moment, I believe that, in Black Lives Matter, I love the symbolics of the paint. I love the symbolics of the march. But if we're not writing policy and legislation in this moment to level up, then we're not doing anything. And so I no longer want to believe that a politician is going to serve my interest. I believe that all in the name of Jesus.
Oh my God.
I
No,
can't.
no, Shawana.
I can't.
Oh, I tried. She was just getting ready to share with everyone this policy that she wants to see happen in terms of prison reform. And it's so important because it ties in the criminal justice system and the issue that's very dear to me, which is mental health, right? And Shawana wants to bring awareness to that. Um, as many of you know, and if you don't know, anytime you experience any type of trauma, you need time to heal. You need time to recover. You need time to get you back. Whether you have been a domestic violence survivor, whether you have um, experienced homelessness, or you've been suffered an illness, or you've been formerly incarcerated. Uh, you need time for you. And so Shawana is champion behind those two causes, the criminal justice system as well as mental health, and helping those to get the support that they need and bringing awareness that when you come back into the population, when you come back to the community, that you need resources. You need people that will give you um, the time and support to heal and be well. And so we are almost at the end of the hour, and I'm just saddened that Shawana did not finish sharing that, because that is one of the reasons I wanted to give her the time to not only talk about the work that she is doing, but also her call to action. And so I want to encourage you to please visit her website, www.silentcryinc. She's on multiple social media platforms. She has a website. Please review her call to action, what she's currently working on, so you can support her in any way that you can. If you're not able to support her financially, maybe you are able to donate. I'm going to encourage her to create a GoFundMe so we can get her the technology that she needs. Nevertheless, she needs help. As many other Black mothers who have taken the charge to start and launch nonprofits or social enterprises, she and others need your help. And so I encourage you, and I believe I shared the websites for each mom that I'll be interviewing this week. So I'm going to close with that. And it's unfortunate that I'm ending this live, and I wanted Shawana to come back and finish giving her ending of her ask to the public because she really does need a lot of support. I don't know how big her team is, but I know that she is on the ground doing the work and she could use support. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that call to ask for her. I hope that you will join me tomorrow as I interview a Baltimore mom who is the founder of a nonprofit called Black Girls Cook. And so I'm excited about that interview tomorrow. But until then, I hope that you take good care of yourselves and that you check in on a mom and make sure she's well. Peace and blessings to you. Good night.